Says we're live. Can you hear the words that are coming out of my face hole? Yes, no, maybe so. Do. 5x5. Thank you, everybody. I see Salty to Society in the chat. Says anyone else here refer Bear to Sean Ryan? By my account between Patreon and YouTube thus far today, about 400 people have. To which I would say thank you very much. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Thank you very much. If you want to refer me to Sean Ryan Show, you can. There's a post on the YouTube channel or a post on Patreon. You click the link there, or you can just Google Sean Ryan Show and make a suggestion. And if you don't, okay, cool. It is the 16th of December, 2024. I am Bear from the internet. We're going to talk about a handful of things today. We're going to talk about, unfortunately, some violence in a school. We're going to talk about some drone copters ongoing. And I've got a written brief here from the Dance Monkeys, and all relating to the drones as well. And also maybe we'll cruise the headlines over at RT. We'll see what happens. Okay, Bear. All right, awesome. Sounds good. Now, you guys know the drill. Subscribe, ring the little bell icon, comment for the YouTube algorithmic robots. More importantly, please share the show. Please share the show. That's how we grow organically, because YouTube hates our freaking guts and we hate their guts right back. And algorithmically, we are not favored on this platform. Bear, you should get on Rumble. I'm on Rumble. Been on Rumble for 2 years. The fact that you don't know that tells you how good Rumble is. Okay. Just please help us share the show. Much appreciated. What's up, Dudley? What's up, Refuge? What's up, Striker Cade? Appreciate all of y'all. And speaking of Refuge, the show is brought to you by the creator of the universe, Yahuwah, your Elohim, the Lord, your God. Something on my shirt. It's brought to you by refugemedical.com, for whom I'm the founder, CEO, chief shilling officer, and of course by the fine people over at Patreon, the economic engine of the Bear Nation. All right. Drones everywhere. All right. Everybody that knows what's actually happening, you know what? I have a beautifully written brief put together by the Dance Monkeys, intelbearindependent.com here. And I may touch on some of it. If you're on Patreon, you've gotten the written brief already. I'm probably going to ad-lib most of this, okay? Everybody that really knows what's happening with these drones is keeping their damn mouth shut, as they should. Okay, they can't talk about it. And so almost as a selector of who's full of shit is the agencies, organizations that are talking about it. Okay. Now, I posited yesterday in a video, there's probably at least four things that are happening here regarding the drones. So we'll come back to people who are full of shit and being able to talk about it or not talk about it. And just as a brief recap, option A, because this is not a universal phenomena here, all right? There's multiple different things happening at the same time. It's like saying, I use a rifle for coyote control. Well, you could shoot hogs with the same rifle. You could probably shoot deer with the same rifle. You could shoot sheep with the same rifle. You could target shoot with that rifle. You could defend your homestead with that rifle. Like, okay, so we can't unilaterally say it's one thing, and I don't think it is, because we know that the Chinese have been flying drones over top of all types of sensitive military installations and critical infrastructure for at least a year, if not longer. Chinese nationals have been arrested. The drones have been recovered. We know that's happening. That's happening. And Joe Biden is compromised by China. Most of the upper echelons of our government have been compromised by China. They own 38% of the farmland in the United States of America. They own a significant portion of the United States' sovereign debt, which is, talk about an oxymoron, sovereign debt. Sovereign means what? King? Debt? No, that's not the way of kings, to be in debt. The rich rule over the poor, but the borrower is a slave to the lender. Proverbs. So Biden's a vegetable. This has been confirmed by undercover reporting by James O'Keefe at OMG and others that Biden is a vegetable. Can't even form complete sentences. So the White House is probably aware of this going on, but it's not Biden that's pulling the levers on anything, nor has it been for a very long time. So you probably got Jill Biden and a whole bunch of unelected staffers that are in charge of the executive branch response to this external stimulus. All right, but China, number one. Number two, and this is the one that concerns me the most. The pattern of behavior of some of these drones indicates that they're looking for something. They're flying low to the ground in a grid pattern, and there's multiple drones that are doing it only at night. Why would they do it at night? To probably try to scare the normies less. Now, option three, experimental aircraft or just aircraft, because there's a lot of people that are mistaking aircraft for drones. And then for some type of swarm technology that's to counter Russia's hypersonic missiles. And that one's still, I'm still out on that. It's option B that concerns me the most. All right. And here's why. Because we have been talking about for a long time, a year or so, the 4,000 known terrorist cells inside the United States of America. Now, where did that 4,000 number come from? The Federal Bureau of Investigation, which I'm not going to say is a reliable witness on most things, but I think this is a credible number. 4,000 known terror cells inside of the United States of America. Couple that with all the illegal military age males that have come across the southern border, you now have a democratic / elite failsafe inside of the country. There's approximately 3,000 counties in each or in the country. So that gives you a 1.33 cells of bad guys on average per county. A cell is going to be 4 or more people. 4 dudes that are well trained can wreak havoc in an area, let alone 10 or 12 guys or 20 guys that are well trained can wreak havoc. Coupled with now you got the intel that Sarah Adams Superbad let go on the Sean Ryan show recently, a couple episodes ago, that an October 7th style terror attack is likely to take place early 2025 inside the United States of America. Okay. Is she a trustworthy witness? Probably, but it also dovetails into shit that's being whispered behind the scenes very quietly for the last 6 months or so, below the threshold of detection that people haven't been talking about publicly. So I agree with her assessment there that that's likely to come. All right. So now that brings us back to nukes, option B with the drones. Now, lots of people, including one of my best friends and my pastor, Pastor Joe Fox of Viking Preparedness, whom I love him. He's an amazing human being. Thinks, no, it's not nukes because we have stuff that sniffs nukes already, and they wouldn't be using drones to sniff nukes. So that got me to thinking because I'm not always right. You may not know that, but yes, I'm human and I make mistakes as well. That got me to thinking. Okay, well, if it was just drones, we could probably say, yep, you're right, it's not nukes. But it's not just drones. Fixed wing and rotor wing aircraft that are specifically designed to sniff out nuclear weapons have also been noted in some of these areas where these drones have been observed, which then led me into a rabbit hole. One of my favorite places on the internet, the rabbit hole. https://pubmed.ncbi.nlm.nih National Institutes of Health.gov. Document 367-24616. Abstract. Emergency Unmanned Airborne Spectrometric HPGE Monitoring System. After a nuclear or radiation event, emergency responders and radiation protection authorities need quick and credible information based on reliable incident and post-accident radiological data. What the hell does that mean? However, risks to people in vicinity of the source pose serious measurement challenges. Many problems could be solved by unmanned airborne monitoring systems, but the current ones are mostly based on non-spectrometric detectors carried by drones with low bearing, short flying range, and flight time. So basically, we got a problem. There's some radiological shit that we need to find out if it's radiological or not. But if we put people near it, they'll get sick. So we'll use a drone with a spectrometric package to go sniff the situation. But turns out drones aren't very good at that because they're small. They got short battery life. They don't have a lot of run time. insert the HPGE monitoring system here, picture of which is the thumbnail of today's video. Well, what does it do that everything else doesn't do? Well, it's gigantic, for starters, about the size of a small SUV. It's twin rotor, and it has an incredibly long flight time, and it can be operated autonomously or by an operator, because that's another thing that I believe it was Rex that was talking about that. Was talking about how drone operators, there would be a remote somewhere of somebody flying the drone. Not these things. They're programmable. They run on 12-volt external power source or an internal battery. And they're sizable batteries. They got long flight time and range, reliability, and they're autonomous. Vertical takeoff and landing capability, high payload capacity of up to 20 kilograms, etc., etc., etc. This is some real shit from 2016 that the federal government purchased. And I will grab this link right here, control copy. We'll come over here and just put this in the chat so you guys can see, oh, Bear's not being crazy. There's the article. Go read it. Okay. So there's a thing. All right. And then next bit of the rabbit hole here. Pterodynamics, PTERO Dynamics XP4 Transwing. Another type of vertical takeoff and landing drone that can carry payloads that can sniff for things that are radiological in nature. So here's my point. These things exist. The government has purchased them already. We have them. And these may have been observed in the same areas at the same times that aircraft, both helicopters and planes, fixed wing, rotor wing, were flying in the same area with known capabilities to sniff for these things. Okay? And so we have that from flight data. Which brings me to, okay, but a nuclear weapon is not exactly easy to smuggle into the United States of America. There's sensors for this all along the highways, at all the ports of entry, at all of the, come on, brain, tunnel entrances. That we got sniffers for all this stuff. And uranium or whatever other, what's the word I'm looking for here, constituent you're trying to use, they all have individual signatures, right? And so if the sniffer is good enough at sniffing, we can tell not just that it's nuclear, but whose nuclear it is. There are reportedly 80 nuclear warheads from Ukraine that are missing. Another layer of the Ukraine thing that's going on here, and allegedly at least one dude several months ago put his hands on one of them in Europe and tried to warn the United States Congress as to say, all these people that are bought and paid for already, as to say, hey, this one's headed to the United States of America. And then they lost it, which still, it's a freaking nuclear weapon. It would be setting off all the bells and whistles. And just hang with me here, okay? Just hang with me. Unless you knew where all the bells and whistles were. You knew post 9/11 that we put sniffers everywhere, in train stations and subway stations and bridges and tunnels, and about every 1 to 5 miles on the highway, and at every port of entry. All these things. You knew that because it was publicly available information. And then you had, say, something like a shipping container that was lead lined and packed with sand, and you put the core inside of it. Why? Who cares? Why do this? Well, because dirty bomb or nuclear bomb, super duper bad on American soil. Coupled with Hamas and the Caliphate army from over there in the Middle East, Osama bin Laden's son et al., who are hell-bent on attacking America, and there's a credible threat against the United States of America for an October 7th style attack sometime in early 2025, which, boys and gerbils, is 2 weeks away. Which, do all the basic prepper shit in between now and then if you haven't. If you don't have food, water, shelter, commo, electricity, fuel storage, homies, an area study, all that, it's probably time to kick it into high gear, right? Like if you don't know where your loaded magazines are, if you don't know how many beans you actually have, it's probably time to do a little inventory. Make sure your poop is in a group. Okay. Do all the things. I was talking about this on that video yesterday. If you don't know what things to do, you're brand new, watch the Prepper Classroom playlist on this channel. It's free. It's 30 videos. They're relatively short, broken down Barney style with a whiteboard. Do this, don't do that. Buy this, don't buy that. Here's how much food, water, whatever, fuel you actually need. Here's the math. Do your own math. Figure it out. Okay. It's a free resource to you at this channel. And share that with somebody you think needs to know it. Please and thank you. So we got 2 weeks, boys and gerbils, until it's January 1. And then what happens? I don't know. I don't know. If I was a bad guy, if I put my bad guy hat on, yeah, I'd probably blow this place to Kingdom Come in a coordinated attack with all these bad dudes on Inauguration Day. Bear, didn't you hear they moved Inauguration Day? It's now March 4th instead of January 20th. First of all, is it? Second of all, if they moved it, why would they give a date? Oh, no, we're not doing it on January 20th now. We're going to do it on March 4th. Okay, cool. Pivot. We'll just wait a few weeks. I don't know if I buy that. Thanks, Biffer87, for the super chat. Which brings me back to nukes. Yes, every one of them has a signature, and we have equipment that is designed to sniff those things out. Remember the border wall? Recent study found that 2/3 of the cameras that are on the border wall don't work. Okay, so just because the equipment's there doesn't mean that it's working. Another thing, if it's a port of entry, if it came over from Europe, hang with me here, came over from Europe on a cargo ship, something like that, it's in a Connex box, sea air land container, okay, and it's a lead shielded sea air land container, and they've taken the appropriate steps to greatly reduce the signature from that container, and it comes into a port of entry, maybe all along the East Coast, where it ends up on the back of a semi, probably driven by some kind of like illegal immigrant, maybe in one of those jingle truck drivers that came over here that can't drive at all anyway. Okay. At the ports of entry, at these international shipping ports that we have, how many times have we reported on the Chinese equipment at these ports and the vulnerabilities that presents? My phone is blowing up over here. Stop texting me, people. I'm trying to talk to the internet right now. Oh, yeah, all the sensors that are there that are what? Controlled by Siemens programmable logic controllers that are all programmed in China, that are all compromised by Stuxnet, that all that shit is offline, that we've talked about. They could shut down, they can literally shut the ports down that fast. To say nothing of, here's some bribe money, look the other direction, because that shit happens all the time. What's up, Sandman? Yeah, so Sandman says, Bear, on the ground, tunnels, bridges, highways, tolls will pick it up. But if you fly it into the country, it can be delivered anywhere. Drug plane do it all the time here in Florida. Yes, the sensors would pick it up on the highways, the bridges, the tunnels, based upon the sensitivity to those sensors, assuming that they're working for a device that has not been shielded properly. My point is, it can be done. It can be done. There's 80 missing, and 80 missing warheads, maybe, from Ukraine. Okay. There was also, a B-52 that went down over West Virginia in 1968 that lost 2 3.5 megaton bombs. We used to have, after World War II, we had these things called POMKIS caches, pre-positioned ordnance military cache, United States of America. And in those things, we had pocket nukes. Guess what? They're empty. Nobody knows who emptied them. It wasn't us. Okay, so there's what do they call them? Broken arrows? I think that's broken arrow is actually a more technical term than that. Or empty quiver, whatever. There's nuclear ordnance on planet Earth that is missing, that nobody knows where it is and has been for a long period of time. Now, let's maybe crawl back out of the rabbit hole here. Note the title of the video. It's probably nukes, question mark. I don't know. Nobody knows, which brings us back to the people that do know are keeping their effing mouth shut because they're supposed to. Well, who's not talking right now? I was texting with a buddy the other day, yesterday, and he was like, man, everybody I know at DOE is super quiet. Okay, well, what does DOE do? Department of Energy. DOE. Yeah, that makes sure the lights turn on when you flip the switch. That's not all they do. Nuclear energy is a big part of what DOE does, Department of Energy. And there's a little thing called NEST, Nuclear Energy Security Teams. And those guys will shoot you in the face without asking any questions whatsoever. Their ROEs are just like, if you talk too loudly about nuclear weapons, they will cavitate your forehead. All right. And you know how you get hired for that job? You don't talk. That's a big part of how you get hired for that job. So it doesn't surprise me that those guys aren't talking. Good for them. Well done. Yeah, quiet professionals for sure. What else? What other indicators are there that it could be nuclear? Well, there's a lot of I saw a map earlier today. What was it? MGC, MCP, M something. Let's go look. Let's go look. Where is it? There it is. GMC, like General Motors Company, except it's not. GMCmap.com. Real world map of radiological hotspots in the United States of America. Somebody snapped a screenshot of this morning outside of Utica, New York, where, like a safe value is 0 to 50 CPM. Okay. Well, there was a red dot outside of Utica, New York that was 181,000, which again goes back to normal radiological signal. We have things in low Earth orbit that spin around satellites that can sniff that shit out from space or just below the threshold of the firmament, whatever you're into. Okay. That exists. That has existed for decades. But for whatever reason, we're having a hard time keeping up with definitely whatever happens will be done on purpose and for a reason, cough, cough. I agree, Joshua Stewart. For whatever reason, there seems to be a lot of hullabaloo around. These are nuclear weapons. And I think it's plausible at this point, given the threat from Hamas, Hezbollah, the Houthis, ISIS, Al-Qaeda, what's the other dudes? HTS. And I can't keep up with the rebranding. These guys, they're like K-pop bands. I know what they look like. I don't know what they call themselves these days. So that's the most likely or the most concerning threat. And now let's go the other direction. Most likely threat. This shit is just drones and airplanes, and people be stupid and they're taking pictures and videos of it. Go, what is this thing? That's a plane. That's a plane, homie. What's it doing flying over my house? You live in New Jersey. All kinds of planes fly over houses in New Jersey all the time. I don't know if you know this, but like one word for you, Newark. So I don't know. Like most likely course of action, this is people being retarded. Most dangerous course of action, the fact that quadcopter drones and twin rotor drones exist and were purchased by the government in 2016 specifically to do this job that it appears drones are doing, mapping in a grid autonomously in areas of interest. That's kind of I really don't like that. The idea of a dirty bomb or a nuclear explosion on nuclear soils, it's like a big no-no. It's a big no-no for me. I don't love it. Now, Wolfmother says the government knows what's going on. 3 exclamation points. Here's the thing, Wolfmother. The government is like what? The largest employer in the United States of America? Top 3. It's like here's the thing. No, they don't. It's like Lauren in media knowing how much green thread is on the bobbin on Christine's sewing machine in the sew shop at Refuge. She don't know. That's not her job to know. Well, Refuge definitely knows what's going on. They know about the OD green thread on bobbins. Which part of Refuge? You think Mike, who's shipping orders right now, knows how much green thread is on that bobbin? Is the bobbin even green? No. No, they don't. Not their job. Somebody in government knows, but to think that whole of government knows what's happening here, no, they don't. No, they do not. And that's part of why it's so simple to engage in governmental shenanigans, because the large, overarching, cumbersome federal government creates wonderful, plausible deniability for small groups of highly motivated individuals. Okay. So somebody in government knows. It's DPFX 59 said CIA knows. Who at CIA knows? Right? There's not uniformity at the governmental level or the agency level. It's a whole thing, compartmentalization, TSSCI, top secret, sensitive, compartmentalized information. If you don't have a need to know, you don't know. You might be sitting, the guy in the cubicle next to you does something completely different than what you do, and you don't know any of his shit, and he doesn't know any of your shit. And if you guys talk to each other for too long at lunch, neither of you are going to work here anymore. Okay. That's now, it's Turbo Time said Jesus knows, and I agree. Yes, Messiah is aware of what's going on here. And that's about it. I think that's most likely where you're going to get your best information is Messiah on what's actually happening here. What's the friggin' point? Who cares? How much are we going to talk about drones some more? Who cares? I care to the extent that I may need to enact certain protocols from a preparedness standpoint to maybe stay home for a while. I don't know if people are going to be behaving badly and these sleeper cells are going to start going kinetic in conjunction with a dirty bomb. I care about that. Now, I don't live near a city, let alone like a tier 1 city, but still, like, remember, one sleeper cell minimum per county in the entire country. Don't love that. Which kind of brings me around to, one last point. I have seen thus far no infrared footage, night vision footage of any of these drones thus far. And I've only seen a little bit of thermal footage of these drones thus far. And for people to say, well, that's because most people don't have that equipment. I know lots of people that have thermals and night vision. I know lots of people that have thermals and night vision, like standard average dude. Yeah, the guy's a veterinarian and he's got, a $6,000 thermal optic on this rifle and he's got a pair of, $18,000 dual tubes. And yeah, like normal people that have this stuff. I haven't seen a single bit of night vision footage and only a little bit of thermal on these things. That makes me wonder too. Now, again, it's New Jersey. Not everybody has that shit in New Jersey. I know some hood rats from New Jersey who probably have that stuff. I would love to see it under infrared night vision, because you could see all kinds of stuff in the night sky. I've seen some weird shit in the night sky under nods that I can't explain. I'd love to know. They have Glock switches in Jersey. Exactly, Turbo Time. Like somebody in Jersey has nods. I'd love to know, like, what are we actually looking at here? Living Life says, I'm a normal person. At least I think I am. And I have night vision, right? Sarah Mitchell says, what are we being distracted from? We're being distracted, I think, from our air quote government keepers opening the door for the failsafe so that Trump is about to inherit another catastrophe in this administration because of the petty oligarchs at the top of the previous administration. They're on their way out and they're going to burn it to the ground as they go because they've extrapolated billions, if not trillions of dollars globally from the peasant class, us, and they don't want to hang for their crimes, so they're going to burn it down. And maybe they'll have a chance to win re-election in 4 years. I don't know. My mouse es no bueno. Hit button. I hit button. Hey, I gotta go pee. I'll be right back. Okay, beer. Cool. Do 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 do. See what the shirt says? You guys read that? See what that says? It says PDF files aren't people. And it's Bluey with an M4. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. All right. All right. What are we doing? End of year sale, refugemedical.com. Hey, my name is Bear. I make the best first aid kits on planet Earth. How do I know? That's not just hyperbole, because all kinds of cool guys that do shit that never happen in places that don't exist run these things all the time. 139 people are still alive because of these kits. I would love it if you would be one of those people too. Look at that tag. Sexy, made in America. That's right. Hand stitched. Now, you know, we follow the Shine/Temu model. So what I do is I look for children on the streets that have nothing to do, and we scoop them up, we push them into a van, we drop them off at the sew shop, we feed them a cup of rice per day because their little fingers are just so much better at sewing. No, we don't do that. We employ real Americans. That's bullshit. Okay. 139 lives saved to date. I want you to be able to go home again if something bad happens. That's the whole point of this kit. Get you heard of a get home bag? Yeah, what does it have? Socks and peanut butter and, you know, I don't know, probably a knife and a headlamp. Yeah, this is a get home bag. This is a real get home bag, because you might have a motor vehicle accident, a workplace injury. You might get shot or stabbed or blown up, or something bad could happen. Uncontrolled bleeding, #1 preventable cause of death in the United States of America. This bag will get you home again, because if you pop this lid and pull this red handle right here, ta-da! Everything you need, nothing you don't. Top quality medical components from North American Rescue, TACMed Solutions, Medline, Quick Clot, and others. Prioritizing the order of care: massive bleeding, airway and respiratory, circulation, head injury, hypothermia, everything else right here. Everything you need, nothing you don't. Made in America, guaranteed forever, so that you can keep being a mom or a dad or a grandpa or whatever you're into, right? Yeah, like if you're a furry person that shits in a litter box, okay, well, you want to keep doing that and you start leaking, this thing will put you back together again so you can pee in your litter box some more, whatever. Okay. There's not a better kit. There's just not a better kit. So check it out. The Bearfac is back in stock, shipping fast. Right now, you get free shipping on all orders. It's the end of the year sale. For every $10 or $100 you spend, you get $10 in transferable store credit. So if you want to give your gift card to a homie, you could do that too. And the Stomp Bag, which is huge. It's a hospital on your back. SEAL Team Operational Medical Pack. That's a Stomp Bag. We took Naval Special Warfare specifications for their medical bag. Then we added to it, made it even better. And yes, that was exactly what a Navy SARC said. He was like, dude, where did you get this? I was like, you guys publish your specifications. He was like, oh. I was like, yeah. So I took it and made it better. So we sell that, right? It's a hospital on your back. That's 15% off right now. The Field Medic, which is like, it's a medic bag. It's like half a Stomp Bag, big backpack thing, good to go. That's 15% off, as well as the Ox Kit, the OSHA compliant kit. We took OSHA's regulations and I was like, well, these are some bullshit. And then we added real first aid kit components to it, and then applied our lifetime guarantee to it. And that's also 15% off right now. So Bearfacs are in stock, Bearmins are in stock, Field Medic, Stomp, and Ox are all 15% off right now. Free shipping on all orders, and you get for every $100 you spend, you get $10 in store credit, redeemable by whoever, whenever, wherever, as long as the aliens don't kill us with the drones or whatever. So refugemedical.com today. All right, cool. What else we got? Biden's a vegetable. We talked about that. James O'Keefe has been reporting on that. Insider talking about, like, the dude literally can't even form sentences. Super surprising. So, question: who is it that's appearing as Biden when Biden, air quote, has to go do air quote Biden things? I don't know. Another thing I wanted to touch on, and it saddens me to touch on it, although there is a solution here. Not in this particular situation, but going forward for everybody else. In Wisconsin, there was another school shooting today. Initial reporting was 5 dead, 13 injured, including the shooter. Those numbers are being amended in real time now. It was at the Abundant Life Christian School, which is a K-12 school that serves about 390 students. Next week, they're on Christmas vacation, so shooter decided today was the day. There are studies that have shown, and I'm now talking to my educators, my school resource officers, anybody in a situation like that, school nurse, coach, bus driver. These kids get quiet first. I don't know why that kid got quiet. I don't know what kind of hell of a life that kid had. I don't know what kind of, and see, here's the thing, because there probably was a level of coercion indoctrination there, but in order for somebody to be coerced and indoctrinated, they need to be hurt first. So I don't know what happened to hurt that kid first, but hurt people hurt people. And that kid's now dead. And that kid took out other kids and injured other kids too. And that's a tragedy, and we should all pray for them today. Because there's a lot of hurt people left in the wake of this. But there are myriad studies that show those kids that are hurting get quiet. And when they stay quiet for too long, then they start to turn. And one of the best ways to keep them from turning and bring that kid back from the brink is to just talk to them and to care. Hey, man, how you doing? What have you been up to lately? What kind of video games are you playing? You know, what are you into? Oh, you wouldn't understand. You're right. I wouldn't. Tell me about it. Just talk to them. Just talk to them. I had a shitty upbringing, man. I was the heavy metal kid in school. And I would get real quiet at times too. And you know what, like, kept me from ever losing my mind? Never in this regard, but what kept me from losing my mind was people would talk to me and ask me questions and actually care. And so, like, you don't know if the word that you have for this person is literally a lifeline. So just talk to them and care. And that reduces the incidence of these school shootings significantly. Okay? So that's one. And then two, all people, but we'll just say educators and school resource officers here, have got to be trained in what to do if something like this happens. You have got to be trained. I hear all the time. Now, Refuge, we have this Friday, we're training 50 sheriff's deputies and school resource officers and educators in a school here in Oklahoma. That's how it's done. And if you guys need that, holler at us. I'll come to your town and do that too. Okay? 50. But you have to know what to do. And the overemphasis is on putting the threat down. And we need to do that. Remember, that's also a kid. Okay? Just so we're all on the same page here. You train all you want. You hardcore psychopath. I'm going to eliminate the threat. That's a kid that we probably should have just talked to in the first place. But yeah, when the violence starts, we have to stop it before we can start medicine. But everyone needs to know medicine. Everyone. Every single adult that's in this building. And there needs to be more than one bleeding prevention kit in the nurse's office, because I see that shit all the time. Oh, yeah, we have a tourniquet. Where is it? You have one? Where is it? It's in the nurse's office. Oh, that'll help. That'll help. Sure. You got a dozen, dozen and a half, 2 dozen, 4 dozen casualties. We have a tourniquet and one person that thinks they know how to use it. Everybody has to train on this stuff. You have to. If you can hear my voice right now, you are at the Bear Independent channel, and there is a free trauma medicine playlist at this channel. It's free. Watch it. Get the things you need to be able to do the things that I am teaching you in that online program. It's free. You can go to refugemedical.com, click the training tab, and watch the free online trainings there to at least get some reps and sets on your side of the camera to know what to do in a situation like this. It matters. And I would submit to you, again, the death throes of this previous administration and all the crazies and all the Diddy's and the Ellens and the Epsteins and now the Jay-Z's and the Burisma holdings and the pardons and everything that's fallen apart. There will be even more distractions. They will ramp up the distractions, and they will use these poor kids who have been hurt and then been freaking brainwashed to go in and do terrible things. And your kids might be at that school. You had better know how to do this stuff. You have to. As a father, as a husband, as a mom, you have, and I don't care what you get from where. Get something to be able to treat this kind of wound. And every classroom, every hallway, every educator needs this stuff on them. Because when the cops get there, cops don't do medicine. We have trained thousands of law enforcement officers. They don't know shit for medicine. They barely know self-aid. And I love law enforcement officers. They know this is true. There's a bunch of you on the other side of the camera nodding your heads right now. You're right. You barely know self-aid. You know how many cops TQs I've restaged for them because it was wrong? Dozens, hundreds. Okay. They barely know self-aid, let alone buddy aid. And if they get called into this situation, their job is to neutralize the threat, not do medicine. So who's doing medicine behind them? EMS? Oh, yeah. Did you know that in order to get your EMT-B, your EMT-A paramedic, they don't teach you to use tourniquets? Yeah. ER docs, they don't teach ER docs, trauma nurses, how to use tourniquets. I'm going to get off this soapbox, but you got to know. You have to know. Yah forbid you have to use these skills, but you have to know it. And I would expect, unfortunately, that we're going to see more of this ramping up to the 20th of January, all of which is a distraction from what? I don't care what the economic numbers say. The economy is still in the shitter. The nation is not unified. Just because Trump has been elected doesn't mean he's the sitting president yet. We have massive external threats from Russia, from China, elsewhere. You know, an interesting, you want to dive into a rabbit hole. Just Google countries that don't have a Rothschild bank in them. I'll give you a short list. China, Iran, Afghanistan, Iraq, North Korea, Russia. Yeah. So why are we at war with all these countries? Oh, shit. Do you want Syria? Yeah, well, not yet, Eric. Not yet. Do you want your sons and daughters to go halfway around the world to bleed and die? For what? And we're on the cusp of that. We're on the cusp of that. I don't like it, but we're on the cusp of that, which leads me to most dangerous, most likely. Most likely, hopefully, shit just stays weird for the next month or two or 48. I don't know. Business as usual. The beatings will continue until morale improves. That. Okay. Most dangerous. I'm concerned about the threat that this October 7th style attack on the homeland has. Now, I'm not losing sleep over it, but I'm concerned about it. It's at the top of my list of indicators and threats. Okay. The drones, yeah, maybe they tie into that. Maybe they don't. Nah, I don't know. Don't love the drones either. But again, anybody that knows what's actually happening is keeping their damn mouth shut, as they should. But we've been knowing, I think is how they said it in the hood. We've been knowing that this is coming. So you should have a plan, a real one. If this shit goes down right now, what you gonna do? Where you gonna go? Who you gonna call? And hopefully the answer is Ghostbusters, right? When there's something strange in the neighborhood. Exactly. Where are you going to go? Who's coming to your place? Are you going to somebody else's place? And then conduct yourselves accordingly regarding loadout based upon what you think your specific threat profile is. I live out here in the sticks, and I don't go to town without a rifle. There's a rifle behind me. You can see the barrel of it right there. There's a shotgun on the other side. And that's just the one that's in this room. Okay. And that's not paranoia. It's just this shit's coming. Okay. This shit's coming. I've told you guys, in the national forest in this county, there's a national forest. There were 8 or 9 Pakistani nationals, military-age males, that have been observed by law enforcement for half a year, training militaristically in the woods, refusing to be contacted by law enforcement. Are they Pakistani? Are they not? I don't know. They're freaking nefarious, and they're in the national forest. What do you think is going to happen, Bear? They're going to try and blow some shit up. Hopefully not my shit. So, and I'm in the middle of nowhere. So if you're in New York, LA, Dallas, Miami, San Diego, Phoenix, Vegas, Chicago, oh, your shit's getting all the way blown up. Like, if they can, they're gonna. Put my bad guy hat on. If I was them, yeah, that's where I'm going. Most bang for your buck. Ride a rent truck, look at Oklahoma City, the Oklahoma City bombing. Not very sophisticated at all. Very effective. Very effective. All right. What do you guys think? Upper Decker 6 mil? All right. Sounds good. Guys, that's the show for today. Boom. GrindstoneMinistries.com. Scriptures back in stock. $12 our cost. Repeat. Scriptures back in stock. If you want one for you want one for your grandma, your auntie, your uncle, your best friend, your neighbor, your 8-year-old who just stuck her head in during your live stream. They're available now at grindstoneministries.com at our cost. What you want?
Can I have a Sprite?
A Sprite?
Yeah.
For why?
Because I want one.
If you do 10 burpees.
I can't do.
Yes, you can. Well, then do push-ups. 20 push-ups.
No.
Figure it out, man. How bad do you want that Sprite?
A lot.
A lot? Like 10 burpees a lot? Oh,
like one jumping jack.
no. You can
What
have
about 20 jumping jacks?
20 jumping jacks.
Yeah.
That's good for half of a can.
Then 40.
40 jumping jacks, whole can. Go do it right over there. No, not in here. I have to put a bow on this live stream. You do your own PT right there. Okay. I know Sprite rots the bones. There are 2 cans of Sprite in this house. 2. And they usually get splashed over the top of whiskey on the rocks. Just a little touch. Keep going. The fact that she found one. Well, they weren't very well hidden. 29, 30. So grindstoneministries.com. Copy of the scriptures. Now back in stock. CalebHouse.org if you want to help our counter-trafficking ministry. You did? Awesome. Okay. Beef feet, skedaddle. Get out of here. Half a can. Half.
But
Okay.
you said I did 40.
Did I?
You said 40 one can.
41 cans? I did not say 41 cans. Get out of here, man. Oh my gosh. What are you doing, goofball? Get out of here. I'm trying to talk to the internet. Nuclear war, drones. Ah. Oh no, an 8-year-old.
One whole can. One whole can.
Feet.
Whole can.
The
Whole
feet.
can, whole can.
Go. Half a can, then I'll come see you. Get. Paladin 1 full can. Don't do it like that, Matt Ryan. Yeah, I think I said whole can. I don't remember, Anyway, CalebHouse.org. Yeah, we just had our annual budget meeting yesterday. It was great. It only took 8.5 hours. It was wonderful. Thank you, JC Fixer. Thank you for helping me remain accountable. Yeah, we're chugging right along as far as building the restoration facility is concerned. Our op tempo for the field teams has ticked up significantly. And so as have associated costs, but we're good. Like we're not broke. Praise Yah. But if the Spirit convicts and you'd like to give, December's like the biggest month for giving, apparently. If you want to pour into a counter-trafficking ministry that actually does stuff and doesn't just make Instagram posts about raped kids bad, you can find us at Caleb with a K, CalebHouse.org, as the Spirit leads. Okay? As the Spirit leads. If you don't have a conviction, then please, by all means, don't. I don't want to be working counter to the Holy Spirit. All right? And then also grindstoneministries.com. Yeah, we have scriptures there, but we also punch tornadoes and hurricanes in the face. And there's some potentially severe weather slated for the end of this week, next week. It's a little too early to tell, but if you want to come on deployment with us and come do the things with us, get on that Grindstone mailing list, please, and thank you. And do me a personal favor, if you would. This is just an ask. If you guys could help tell one other person in conversation this week about Refuge Medical, I would really appreciate it. 2024 has been rough for all of us, us included. And I'm not going to sit here and bitch and moan at you, but I'll tell you, all of our suppliers' costs have gone up, input costs have gone up, and we've tried to go the other direction with our pricing. And so what were thin margins are already very thin margins. And to every one of you who's got a Refuge kit, who's part of the Refuge Nation, who, you guys are customers for life. And I love you to the moon and back. Thank you. We've gone from my barn to 4 continents in 5 years. We're feeling the effects of the Biden economy as well. So if you could help evangelize for us, I would really appreciate it. And if you haven't taken a spin across the website anytime in the recent past, do that. Go check out the products. If you have questions, hit us in the chat. We have a live chat on the website with real people, not AI on the other side of it. I get questions sometimes. It's like war belt kit. Like that's what they put in the chat. I'm like, hey, homie, I'm a real person. I need some more context. Like, what are you looking for? Like, have a conversation because we're real people. All right. Or you can email us, your agency, your department, your mutual assistance group. If you want training or custom kitting or bulk pricing or whatever, just shoot us an email through the website or call the store. We're there Monday through Thursday. We work 10s. So from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Thursday, somebody will be at the store to answer your phone call, and we'll spend 2 minutes to an hour on the phone with you until you're happy, until you got what you need. Okay. So with that, I appreciate y'all very much. It's been a hot minute since we prayed together, and we're going to do that now. Oh, Father. Father, we come before you humbly and ask that you would be with the families that lost their kiddos today in Wisconsin and in the school shooting yesterday in Arkansas. Father, that you would be near to them and that you would bring peace that surpasses all understanding and bring comfort by your Holy Spirit in this situation. Let these people remember that all things work together for the good of those who love you, even if this doesn't make any sense at all. The senseless loss of life and young life. Father, that for reasons that are way beyond our comprehension, this is part of a plan that we can't see or ascertain. Father, I pray that you'd help those of us whose kids are still here cherish them a little bit more today. Hold them a little bit closer. Have a little bit more interest. Be a little bit more present. Father, please forgive us for all the things that we take for granted that are actually miracles and blessings that happen before our very eyes. Father, please forgive us of all the times we've thumbed our nose at you, have refused to bend ourselves to your will, have refused to hear your voice. Father, please forgive us for that. Father, thank you. Thank you for everything, for the good and the bad and the ugly. Thank you that we woke up today, that you've trusted us with even the air in our lungs. Thank you for tarrying with us, for teaching us, for helping us to be better, for pulling us out of apathy and self-pity and hatred and anger and fear and pain, and making us new by the blood of Messiah, that we could live a life to the best of our ability that is pleasing to you, that would be trusted to be your hands and feet, and to speak your words in love to our brothers and sisters. Father, thank you for seeing something in us that we don't even see ourselves. Father, thank you for laying down your life for us and for proving that we are worthy, regardless of whatever the whispers of the enemy might be. Thank you for relentlessly pursuing us and making a way for us to come home again. And thank you that you are sovereign over all things and that your will be done, regardless of how we may feel about it. Thank you for reproof and instruction, for forgiveness and for mercy, for inexplicable grace. Thank you for guidance by your Spirit, that we would be able to discern good from evil, light from darkness. Father, thank you for the love, especially when we were unlovable. Father, keep us reminded of you today. Let no weapon formed against us prosper. Hear the cries of the righteous and comfort them. Give them this day their daily bread, Father. Put a hedge around your people. Whatever may come, Father, we know you're sovereign of it. I ask that you would make us brave in the face of adversity, that we would not tolerate evil, that we would hate what you hate with a righteous hatred. Father, that you would look upon us and smile and make a covenant of peace with us. Father, Yah, if there's anything within the sound of my voice that is not of you, including inside of me, I rebuke it in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach and command it to flee. Father, Yahuwah, fill us up with your Ruach HaKodesh. Let us be a light unto the world, that they would see us and they would see you and your sovereignty, that we would continue to walk in your ways in the model of Messiah to the best of our broken ability. Father Yahuwah, make your face to shine upon us this day. In Yeshua's name, Amen. I love y'all. Keep those kiddos and those families in prayer. You think you're having a rough day today? Nope. Dudley, just saw so much light with my eyes closed. Amen. I'll see y'all when I see ya. Shalom.